I'm Leonard Elijah,
I'm Amir Araghi.
and we are the Conscious Cup Podcast.
Podcast.
Just as many of us drink coffee to get through our day, the Conscious Cup Podcast is about filling your soul with a guiding light of energy to navigate you through the week. And on today's show, we're going to be going into the grind, where we talk about upcoming events in the spiritual community, then to filling your cup, where we go over the main subject of the week. Today's main topic is the 7 stages of attainment. 7 stages of attainment. Then we head to what's brewing as we peek into the current state of global consciousness. And finally, to spill the beans, where we discuss our weekly spiritual task that involves both you and us and our personal reflection on them. So with that, we ask you, what are you filling your
cup.
spiritual cup with?
We'll get that smooth out next time.
Welcome back. We are excited to have you again. This is another episode, and we're so pleased with the positive feedback that we've been getting on this show, and all of you have been sharing this and commenting and liking and subscribing. We're really grateful for you. That's a good reminder to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave a comment. Tell Amir how good his haircut looks, and put something down there. Put something for us to know that you're paying attention to us.
Share it. Look, all of this stuff is meant to be shared, and the community needs to grow. And if you have ideas, by the way, topics, ideas, stuff you guys want to hear us talk about too,
Yes.
please do share. We are a very open book, and we want to make sure we are feeding you as you are feeding us. So yeah, please do share with us.
Please do. And with that, we're going to go right into the grind.
Yes.
Okay. And the grind, we talk about spiritual events. And we had a wonderful event that I attended. And this past Saturday, it was really great. It was on AI. Amir led the class. He had a wonderful presentation. Everybody was excited about it and learned a lot. There was a lot of good feedback. The group chat was blowing up. Even still today, people were sending messages about your wonderful presentation.
Thank you. Yeah, it was, I think, very needed in terms of understanding really what's going on, and with both the world of artificial intelligence, and I think even more so on quantum computers, because that's where stuff gets really, really interesting. But thank you for that. Yeah, that was a fun event. The ones that you do that are, you have to create them. There's no text on it. There's no roadmap on it. There's nothing on it. You're literally creating that. Are challenging, but yet extraordinarily rewarding. So this was one of those, but it was fun. So hopefully might do a repeat. We definitely are, for the people who participated. We are definitely going to actually physically get together. This is a sneak peek. We're going to get together towards the end of this year. There's multiple people who've actually requested that it's going to happen again, so I might do it again. And the purpose of doing it at the end of the year is to actually see physically how much these markers have moved forward in terms of interactions and just processes and all of that, because the stuff is moving at lightning pace.
It's moving very fast. Yeah.
With that said, let's talk about a couple events.
What do you? Amir was in charge of the calendar this episode, and let's see what he's come up with.
I'm the social director this week. So there's a couple cool events. There's one called the Bloom event. It's actually this Sunday. It's in Venice. I'm actually going to go to it. It's from 5 to 10 p.m. So doing the
on
Father's Day thing during the day. And then that'll give us a little bit more time to kind of go through this. But it should be a really amazing event. It's not a gigantic event, but there's a bunch of different stuff that's going on. And it's kind of in that spiritual realm where they're going to have conversations about it. They're going to have little stores and setups for it. They're going to do a really big breath work and sound bath together. And so it should be really, really, really interesting. It's this Sunday, June 18th from 5 to 10 p.m. And it is held at the Venice Visionaries Cosmic Creation Center. Try to say that 5 times in a row.
That sounds like a neat place. I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's on 1324 Pacific Avenue in
Wow,
Venice.
1, 2, 3, 4. There you go.
Yeah.
And are there tickets? How do people? How would
Yeah,
someone?
tickets. If you're interested, the website is laconsciousevents.com. laconsciousevents.com. That'll link you to everything that is going on there. But I am going maybe, I don't know.
Is there a ticket price?
They are $55.
And what is the affiliate commission you get for this event?
$0.0. Yes. So that is one event. So that should be really fun. Do you
I
think
can't
you
come
might be
because
able
I
to?
have my son that day. But more importantly, it's Father's Day.
Yeah.
And I'm a father.
Yes.
And my dad is a father, and he's with us today. You want to show real quick? Joseph's here with us
Oh,
at the
yes.
Conscious Cup.
Yes. I'm very excited about this cup.
This is Mr. Joseph. He was confused for Pablo Escobar at the park with the large gun. We don't condone any type of hunting, but that's him.
I condone everything Joseph does, by the way. I love him. Yeah, this is a great photo. Great photo.
Yeah, so we're doing a Father's Day dinner, and so most likely when it finishes, it'll be close to the end of that.
Oh, you guys are doing
Yeah,
a dinner.
we're doing a dinner.
We're doing a lunch, kind of a
But
kind
that
of thing.
does
So
does sound great, and Venice is a wonderful place, and you're probably going to meet a lot of great people there. Maybe you should be talking about the Conscious Cup podcast at the LA Conscious event. Should we get
Always.
some business cards for you, or what?
Always, yeah. I'm gonna take the background with me. Just gonna walk around with the background. Does this look familiar to anyone?
All
But
right,
yeah,
so that's
that
one
should
great
be-
event. Bloom
yeah,
event. Bloom.
yeah.
BLOO. Bloom event, Venice, California.
Yes. So the other one is there is a truthfulness workshop, which sounds pretty interesting. This is occurring on July 1st, Saturday, from 10 to 5 a.m. It sounds pretty intensive. It sounds like more like a workshop type of a thing. Is being led by 2 individuals. One is Sakib, and the other is named Charles. I don't have last names for Charles, but I do for Sakib. It's Rizvi. And this is going on in the area around Silver Lake. It's at 3732 Sunset Boulevard is when this is happening. It's 7 hours long, so you got to be really like dedicated. This is one of those like legit things. So
It's called the Truthfulness event.
the Truthfulness Workshop,
Okay, and all politicians are invited.
they're leading it.
Then we're not going.
Yeah.
They need to do the workshop.
Exactly. So they're going to be guiding. Oh, actually, it's Charles Fraley, I guess. I don't know how to say it. I apologize if I'm saying your last name wrong. But they are going through 4 different sections. One is the enlightening talks, and then relaxing meditations, interactive activities, and then community and support. So they sound like they have it pretty well broken down
Sounds
and kind
good.
of organized and everything. So that is happening again on Saturday, July 1st, 2023. They are on Eventbrite as well. Tickets are $97. There's only one tier, but it's a full day thing. And it sounds like it could be something interesting.
How do they find it? Is there a website they should reference?
There is no website, but if you go to eventbrite.com and you search for Truthfulness Workshop,
Okay, Truthfulness Workshop.
Yeah.
Truthfulness Workshop in Silver Lake,
yes.
which is not far from Los Feliz.
Yeah.
Not far.
So that is those are the couple events that are going on, and it should
Well, thank
be
you.
should be exciting. So
Thank
that
you for
is
doing
the grind.
Yeah. Thank you. Good job on that, Amir. Now we'll head into the main topic. Okay, this is the seven stages of attainment. Now, I was talking with Amir just a quick moment before we got started because he wanted to ask what is the topic about, because he doesn't know, as I don't know. When we do this, we take turns, and it's kind of a surprise to us how it's going to be. So far, it's turned out okay.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes today. But so this is a topic that can be discussed for a week. We could do a whole week workshop, a day per stage, So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do my best to give you a synopsis of it, hopefully enough that you would be interested or intrigued to go learn more about it yourself, or perhaps not, and just take what I offer to you and eat that, however you like it. But I'm not in no way going to be giving a master class or deep, coverage of this topic because it is a life's work.
It's an overview.
It's an overview. Yeah. I mean, what can we do in an hour podcast? You know, and we got to do the grind. We got to do the beans. We got to do all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? We can't get it all done and can't do it all in just a few minutes.
It's it's beautiful. Look, a lot of the times it's good to just do an overview and get the energy rolling and see where it goes from there.
So the 7 stages of attainment are from Chuang Tzu. Chuang Tzu.
Oh,
You know Chuang Tzu?
I do.
Yes, Chuang Tzu. Chuang Tzu. It was an ancient Chinese philosopher who lived during the 4th century BCE. He's renowned for his contributions to Taoism and is considered one of the most prominent figures. He's primarily known for his philosophical texts, which consist of stories, anecdotes, and dialogues that explore the themes of Taoism and the nature of reality.
Beautiful.
His writings emphasize the importance of individual freedom, harmonizing with nature, embracing change, transcending dualistic thinking. I'm giving you some keys into the 7 stages here. Chuang Tzu's philosophy encourages individuals to seek enlightenment and unity with the Tao, the ultimate reality.
Beautiful. That's
So
awesome.
that's the overview there. Now we're going to head into step 1. So step 1 is of the 7 stages of attainment is awakening to wonder / putting the world outside yourself. Awakening to wonder and putting the world outside yourself.
Wonder, WONDER, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Putting the world outside yourself. Concern with the world, attachments of the outer. The stage involves recognizing the vastness and the wonder of the universe.
Ooh.
It emphasizes the importance of opening one's mind to the limitless possibilities of existence. You know, at
Beautiful.
any time you feel like you want to come in with something,
Yeah.
please do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm absorbing right now. Okay, that's beautiful.
This stage encourages individuals to go beyond their mundane preoccupations with the ordinary perceptions of reality. It prompts us to cultivate a sense of curiosity, wonder, and awe towards the world around us. By awakening to the wonder, we develop a deeper appreciation for the beauty of nature, the interconnectedness of all things, and the mysteries that lie beyond our limited understanding, which is where the wonder comes in, right? Awakening to the wonder also involves a sense of humility, as we recognize our smallness in the grand scheme of things. It encourages a shift from the self-centered perspective to a broader, more expansive view of the world, putting ourselves outside the world. The newfound awareness inspires a sense of reverence and respect for the natural order of things and encourages us to explore the depths of our own being and the universe at large. Ultimately, the purpose of this stage is awakening to the wonder as an invitation to embark on the journey of exploration, of self-discovery, and spiritual growth. It sets the foundation for the subsequent stages and attainment in Chuang Tzu's philosophy, leading individuals towards a deeper understanding of the mysteriousness of existence.
Very interesting. I mean, that's a that's a big first step. So
Many people haven't even taken this first step yet.
I was gonna say this almost feels like a step 40 in some ways. So I'm very interested to see what steps 2 through 7 are. But this feels like, the language I would use for it a little bit is being in a state of awe and play, right? And opening your possibility, having space for possibility and not killing. And that's where I get that play from, right? Like, it's like there's a lot to discover. And if you are in awe of that, you get to play more. And I think naturally that brings humility, right? Because you start to realize, it's going to sound funny to say, but you start to realize how big infinity is. And so your awe kind of comes in just like a child, right? They don't get bored. They don't get they're just always in a state of awe. They're always in a state of awe. And everything is new and everything is wonderful and it's all experience. Yeah. Very cool.
Toast and butters, Dada.
Yeah.
I want toast and butters. After the smoothie, can I have toast and butters? Yeah. Oh, great. The happiest toast and butters eater in the world.
And by the way, if toast and butters don't happen and it's bagel and cream cheese, he'll be equally excited for that too. Because it's just
especially
all
if it's
in
courage
awe.
bagels.
Yeah.
So
Very
the first step is just opening the door to the path. Okay. Now, if we go to the raw material, a different text, It's basically, in my opinion, coming to the stage that you're making a decision to polarize positive or negative. Because most of humanity is in the space of indifference, going through the motions of life, paying bills, watching sports at night, drinking a beer, Miller Time, etc. Busy with work and busy with let's say not such deep play. They haven't really made a decision to get on a spiritual path.
Right.
Now, most of the people who are listening and who are part of this group have made that decision.
Yeah.
But we're talking about on a wider perspective. Most folks, the vast majority of folks, haven't made a decision yet. Yeah. And this step one of attainment, step one, I mean, you're on the way to attainment. Right. So you've made the first step. Here's the first step is, hey, there is steps. Oh, there's steps? I'm going to take those steps now. So you're realizing, oh, wait a second, there's a path. Mm-hmm. There is a path here, and I want to go on it. Before that, we're just playing in the field. Right. Now we found the path. Oh, there's a path. Now I'm interested. Where does this path go?
Right.
The path looks infinite. It looks expansive and amazing. I wonder how amazing it is. Look at all the trees around it. I want to go down this path now.
Right. Right.
So now we're going to get to the second step.
And by the way, I usually call those people zombies. Like true real life zombies are people who are just going through the motions. That's a zombie.
But that's most folks.
And that's right. There's symbolism in all of this stuff. What is a zombie? It's a walking dead. So a lot of people have lost this sense of play. They've lost this sense of awe. And so it feels like the first step would be to come back into possibility. Oh, what is there? That's really cool. I'm excited.
Thank you. I'm glad you're excited. This is great stuff. I was like, thinking about what I was going to do, and this came to me, and I was like, I'm not an expert at this, but it's so powerful that I think it brings value to the table for anyone who listens. Step 2, freedom from social conventions. / put things outside of yourself. Freedom from social conventions and put things outside of yourself. So thought, mental reflection of the world, process of the mind in the field of mind, inward reflection and concerns with that. Inner mind quiet. At this stage, individuals break free from societal expectations and norms. They reject the artificial constraints imposed by society and embrace their natural instincts and inclinations.
Interesting. What's the title one more time?
Freedom from social conventions, then put things outside of yourself. So, again, at this stage, individuals break free from societal expectations and norms. They reject the artificial constraints imposed by society and embrace their natural instincts and inclinations.
So, realign with your natural vibration and let go of any societal norms, any boxes, any beliefs.
Second and third chakra, basically. And if you've listened to our previous podcast, you know what that's about. Who am I to myself, and how do I feel the world looks at me? Basically being concerned with societal impressions upon ourselves. What do we kind of, how are we looking at ourselves? What do we think of ourselves, and what do others think of us? Those are chakra 2 and 3. So we step outside of those things. We have freedom from them, right? Now that I'm on the path, I'm not so concerned with what people think of me anymore. Right. It doesn't really matter to me if someone says, "Oh, that guy, he's a loony. He's always talking some spiritual stuff with him. Everything's so deep," or whatever. Can't we just drink a beer and watch baseball?
Right.
It's like you don't care.
Right.
That it doesn't bother you that the guy said that. It doesn't matter. It's not even into your consciousness as an issue. Okay. Step 3, harmonizing with nature. Putting life outside yourself. Harmonizing with nature and put life outside of yourself. Force, momentum of the mental. Removing the continuous attachment to things and mental process. This stage involves aligning oneself with the flow of nature and recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. It emphasizes living in harmony with the rhythms of the natural world. Harmonizing with nature entails a shift in perspective from seeing oneself as separate from the environment to understanding oneself as an integral part of it. It emphasizes the interdependence and interrelationship between humans and the natural world. By recognizing this interconnectedness, individuals can develop a deep respect and reverence for nature, and they strive to live in harmony with it. This stage encourages us to observe and learn from nature, appreciating its beauty and wisdom. By immersing ourselves in nature, we can gain insights into the natural flow of life, the cycles of growth and decay, and the balance of harmony that exists in natural order.
Beautiful. This is a step I think that would mean you literally reflect into nature, begin to see the code of divine order, if we want to call it that. And as you see the code of divine order, you realize that it is in oneness and unequivocally can never
Don't
not
give
be
a
in
preview of the
oneness.
next steps now.
Oh, is that what it is?
You'll get
but
there.
That's really beautiful, and that I think that's why all of us, every human, wherever it is, right? Like for me, it is places like this where it's very tree lined and serene, and
Hikes, yes.
streams and hikes and stuff like that. For you, it could be beaches. For some people, it could be prairies. For some people, it could be mountainous regions. For some people, it could be deserts. By the way, for some people, it's in the snow. But the reason that all of this works is because there is an energy in nature of which I think part of what you read is the mind kind of shuts off and you're just in rhythm with everything. And unequivocally, you feel this interconnected web that oftentimes when we're looking externally, truly externally, rather than inside to the outside, we don't see. That's a powerful step.
Very good point that you brought up. Remember, the previous one was the freedom from social conventions and putting things outside of ourselves. And part of what I read there was process of mind in the field of mind, inward reflection, and concerns with that. And at this stage, we have a quiet inner mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the quiet inner mind is crucial to getting to step 3, which allows us, right, to go to that place and see the harmony as it is, because we're not concerned anymore with what about us, what about me, what about this, what about the noise in my head.
Yeah.
Now I'm quiet. I can go into nature and hear the sounds and see the harmony of it all and appreciate it because I'm not so concerned with what about me, what about me.
Yeah.
You see? So this is why these steps are in order.
Yeah.
I mean, it all happens as, and you were just saying it and flowing it and boom, there it came.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right.
Rumi calls this self-effacement, by the way. And it's this idea of dissolvement, right? You dissolve into nature, and then you realize you've always been nature.
Yes, that's no thing in Buddhism, right?
Exactly.
All right, so heading to step 4, embracing transformation. Achieve the brightness of dawn. Quiet, stilled mind, spiritualized mind, clarity, awareness of the brightness of true nature. In this stage, we embrace change and accept the impermanence of all things. We understand that life is a constant process of transformation and adaptability. Now we're further moving into transforming into harmony with nature. We are now part of nature. We see the impermanence of it all. We recognize it. We accept it. We understand it. We understand that adaptability and transformation is just how things are.
I love that. I love that. It's the old adage, I feel like, in one way, right? It is the only constant is change. That is that. And so when you can embrace that, you're in the flow. Because when you absorb this idea of change, then, and I like reflect on this. If you absorb the idea of change, there is zero space for attachment. It's just gone. It's really, really gone. And I think that is, on an energetic level, talking about nature, why so many of us enjoy water and the sound of water, because it's always in movement and it's always in flow. Mm-hmm. It's really beautiful. That's awesome. I love that. Wow. It's
good stuff,
cool.
huh?
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a workshop on this.
Inspiration comes.
Stick to one, topic per hour or whatever, or even just do the whole day and we pick one and go through and work on each one. And this is a working.
Oh, 100%.
This is a working. This is life.
We touched on it in the book club for Alan Watts, the Taoism one. And he brings up, I think the official pronunciation is Chuang Tzu. I think that's what it is, but I'm not 100% sure. I could have absolutely butchered that, by the way.
It's a tough thing
but
to say.
he is one of the ones that Alan Watts constantly refers to.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, he's one of the guys of Taoism, which is like
Sure.
one of the most fundamentally beautiful, just beautiful.
Yeah, Alan Watts is great. He's a Zen Buddhist, a Chan Buddhist.
Yes.
But he's well read in so many spiritual texts.
Yeah.
And he's always great to listen to. I listen to him for hours and hours and hours, and it's always interesting. And he's got such a great voice. Some people say people can't stand his voice. I love his voice. And actually, he has a book, and I went to go listen to the book on audio, and I was so disappointed that he wasn't reading it
him.
because I'm so used to his voice because it's such a great voice. And you were like, thank God it wasn't him. I can't stand his voice. I'm like, I can't believe it. His voice is so great.
It's really funny. So I oftentimes will think of ideas and I'll be like, this is an original thought. This is natural to me. And multiple times, there's two people that I often do that with, like where the ideas are merged, and I have no idea that it is, right? And the very first time was something Alan Watts said, and I said this comment, and someone goes, "Oh, Alan Watts." I'm like, "What? Who are you talking about?" Like, "Yeah, you got that from Alan Watts." I'm like, "I don't know who Alan Watts is. What are you talking about?" I'm like, "This is my thought." So, and the funny thing is, now that you bring it up, is that I don't resonate with the way he talks, but a lot of people love it. I would say the vast majority of people love it because it's very British. It's a little British and very slow.
And there's so many good videos of him speaking.
Quiet.
All right, let's head on to number 5.
It always feels like he's here, by the way, when he talks.
And that's good.
Yeah,
that's where we all 100%. Should be. Or could be. All right, next. Transcending dualities.
This is step 5?
Step 5.
5.
Transcending dualities. He can see his own aloneness. I'm no longer in the world, but the world is in me. Awareness makes the conscious mind that is aware of reality of phenomena. Seeing unity, awareness of non-duality. At this stage, individuals go beyond the limitations of dualistic thinking, such as good versus evil or right versus wrong. They recognize that reality is multifaceted and embrace the paradoxes and contradictions inherent in existence. Yeah. Now, we did a whole podcast. That was the main topic of a podcast we did already.
Yeah, paradox. There's nothing to add to that. This is such an ultimate step that when you are able to be beyond duality, it is, I think it's step 3 that I mentioned this, but you go back to that interconnectedness. It's just this interconnected field that is just awe. And then when you're in that state, there cannot be anything that's wrong because there's no right.
There's no right or wrong. Yeah. And that's how the Creator looks at it, right?
100%. Which, by the way, is us. We just have to tap back into it. All of this is a process. Yeah, it's a circular process in a way. Wow.
Yeah, they say it's something like the knowledge is adding something to you every day. He said to learn knowledge, you add every day. To become wise, you remove every day.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. That's beautiful. Can you read this one again?
Yes.
Please.
Transcending duality / he can see his own aloneness. I'm no longer in the world, but the world is in me. Awareness makes the conscious mind that is aware of reality of phenomena. Seeing unity, awareness of non-duality. At this stage, we go beyond the limitations of dualistic thinking, such as good versus evil or right versus wrong. We recognize that reality is multifaceted and embrace the paradoxes and contradictions inherent in existence.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. The paradox is that awareness creates separation and ultimately leads back to oneness. That's the paradox of awareness, of sentient consciousness, of conscious awareness, is that in and of itself, the process starts that you go with the extreme separation and then you slowly start to come back to it.
Well, what are we? We're the Creator first,
right?
Then we become, the light hits the prism, like the Pink Floyd album, and becomes 7.
That's right.
We go through the 7 stages, the 7 densities, right? And then we come back to the light again. It's all the light.
That's
it's all the Creator.
Right.
Okay, 6. Effortless action. Now that we're at this place of non-dualistic awareness, or whatever you want to call it, we're now at effortless action. This stage emphasizes the concept of Wu Wei. Individuals act spontaneously and effortlessly without striving or forcing outcomes. We trust in the natural flow of events and allow things to unfold naturally. We do away with past and present. Effortless action does not imply inactivity or laziness, but rather emphasizes the state of being in which actions arise effortlessly, without the need for force or excess striving. It involves a deep trust. This is key. It involves a deep trust in the natural unfolding of events and attunement to the rhythms and patterns of the world. By aligning with the Tao, individuals can harmonize their actions with the larger cosmic order. In this stage, we let go of attachments to personal desires, outcomes, and the need to control. We cultivate a state of inner stillness and clarity, allowing our intuition and innate wisdom guide our actions. Effortless action arises spontaneously and intuitively, free from limitations and ego-driven intentions and agendas. By embracing effortless action, we can tap into a state of flow, where our actions are effortless, efficient, and effective. It is a state of being fully present in the current moment, fully engaged in the task at hand, and allowing actions to unfold naturally without resistance or excessive effort. Effortless action is not about being passive or indifferent. That's big.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's about cultivating a deep attunement to the natural rhythms and intelligence of the world. It is a state of acting without the burden of self-consciousness, where one's actions effortlessly align with the larger harmony of existence. Ultimately, in this stage, it invites us to let go of the need to control and to trust the inherent wisdom of the Tao. By embodying effortless action or Wu Wei, we can lead a more balanced, harmonious, fulfilling life in sync with the natural flow of the universe.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. The key for me is as you enter into a state of oneness, you naturally then will enter into a state that is non-linear. So you become multidimensional in your consciousness. And because you become non-linear, you have the ability to transcend above time and space. As you do that, there is no future. There is no past. And therefore, you are naturally going to be, and the image that comes to mind for me is, you can imagine like a very gentle, like water spout that is just bubbling up. It just comes. It is just forming. The energy is moving from this unknown place, which at this time, it's known for you, right? Because you become the source and you're just in that space, because this goes back to the basics of quantum physics, which is that energy results into the matter and not the other way around. So if your energy is in this state, if your vibration is in this state, by the rules of physics, by the rules of not only physics, but quantum physics, the resultant action will come from the energy. There's no other way that it can happen. It literally cannot happen in another way. I love that. That's really beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. But that image to me is just of this water just bubbling up, and it's coming from deep down within. It's beautiful.
Okay. Ready for number 7?
Número 7.
Tito's top 7 at 7. Unity with the Tao. Enter where there is no life and no death. The source of life and death, samsara, phenomena, appearance. We return to the source before there was time and space. He keeps giving out the clues, doesn't he?
By the way, this is literally like, Leonard knows. I have not heard this before, so I'm like, that's why I'm absorbing so much. It's really cool.
We return to the source. We go to the deathless, right? What is not born doesn't die. The final stage is attainment of unity with the Tao, the underlying principle or source of all existence. It represents the state of enlightenment or spiritual realization where we, the individual, become one with ultimate reality.
Beautiful.
Not less of me, none of me,
Yeah.
all of thee.
Yeah. Literally. Literally.
Yes.
That would be that state is a state of true oneness and thus absolute light. Everything is in divine order. Everything is known, and it just is.
Yeah.
The crazy part for me on that is that I think that state, which seems so far away, like, if you're trying to quantify it and like, oh, what do I have to do to get there, which
Sure.
seems far away, but it's not, because it's right here. To me, that state, when you get there, you get one key that enters into love. That's the way I look at it, because I think that light then leads you to love. And any kind of energy that we're getting of love here is such a fragmented little portion of love, but that is just mind-boggling, and it's so beautiful. And the reason it's mind-boggling, because the mind doesn't exist there, and yet it does exist there. It can't compute there. Let's just put it that way. It's an overload. That is awesome. That is really, really cool. And is there a book on this?
Chuang Tzu.
It's his own book.
Yeah, it's his thing.
What's the title?
Chuang Tzu or something like that. It's like the one you said, Chuang Tzu or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You can just look up. You know what's interesting about this is I got this from Chuang Tzu's book, but when you look this up, like I was like, oh, let me go find some more information on this, like on YouTube. Let me see if I can watch a video on these 7 stages so I can understand it better before I present it to you guys, right? And it's like nothing.
I love that, actually, because that creates space.
You thought I was so surprised. I was like, I thought everybody would be talking about this. Anyway,
but isn't that exciting?
It's exciting.
You know what I'm talking? When
Yeah, of
we were
course.
talking about the AI and
Yeah.
quantum, that's the cool thing, is that then you dive so deep into it to try to pull it out. That's awesome. On a very peripheral level on this, because he does talk about it, I would also definitely advise the Way of Water by Alan Watts, because he goes into a lot of this about the Wu Wei and about
Sure.
nature and about natural and about all of that. So if you're looking for like a broader or maybe like a starter way into it, that would be a really cool one. But I'm definitely gonna look this up.
Great.
The 7 Steps of Attainment, correct?
Yep. 7 Steps of Attainment. Chuang Tzu.
That was awesome.
CHUANGTZU.
That's awesome. Good work.
Glad you guys liked it.
That was great. I liked it.
Thank you, buddy.
That was great. I just looked at your shirt. I was gonna say it kind of started a little lightning in me.
Grateful
I
Dead.
like it.
Grateful
I like
Dead.
it. Yeah.
I wore it on
Beautiful.
purpose for this one.
Did you?
Oh, Grateful Dead, right? We moved beyond samsara, life and death.
is an illusion.
Yes, that's
Death
right.
is an illusion.
So now we'll be heading to What's Brewing,
Oof.
which has to do with news events. Now, oh man, I'm looking at the topics. I see them. Oof. Where do you want to start?
There's a lot. I'm going to try to really keep it brief as much as I can.
Yeah, I took a long time on the 7 steps.
Oh, no.
But we had to. I mean, I can't cut it short.
Well, we're in a space of timelessness, so
That's
it's all
right.
good. Don't even worry about it. There's a lot brewing. I like, you guys are going to laugh. I know Leonard laughs. I get chills, though, because it's such awesome stuff that is coming. And please, we've said this, go do your own research on this stuff. The reason we bring some of these literally not the main reason, the only reason we are bringing you this portion, which is What's Brewing, is because we want to shed light that there's a lot of other things that are occurring that are just not talked about.
Yes, the media misses a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
They don't care to bring it up because it's not in their best interest. Because you're not in their best interest. I mean, you are in their best interest, but not the best you.
Yes. The best you is not of their interest.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that are not talked about. And, it's kind of like this thing that we've all seen before where, like, a magazine will write a whole article on somebody. It'll be wrong. Yeah. And then what they'll do is next month, they'll give a small sentence at the bottom left in the very back that says, our mistake. They don't do that anymore.
No.
They just leave it.
They leave it.
But they used to put, at least it was our mistake, this and that. Nobody reads the next magazine to see, oh, they made a mistake on the last one. They're not. They're just, you know, it's just
there's
not.
no accountability, and the funny none. And the funniest one to me, by the way, which is
Propaganda is actually legal. Propaganda is legal, and it's there's a whole act that passed
sponsored
allowing it. Yeah.
by
It
everything.
definitely is.
But the funniest analogy of that, by the way, I'm digressing a little, but are these guys on like the sports shows? They literally sit there and talk every day about things, and they have their opinions, and they're all wrong, and people still listen to them. I go like, what?
Well,
It's just entertainment, I guess.
some of
at
it
some
could
point,
be right. I mean, not saying it's all wrong. There's
no,
some,
but I mean, like
they make opinions on what's going to happen.
I guarantee you, like I can guarantee you that none of these guys, as an example, saw the Denver Nuggets winning the championship.
Well, they were the number one team. I mean, it's possible.
No, preseason, right? Like I'm talking
preseason,
like
sure.
when they had to do that,
Yes.
Denver Nuggets were probably number 10 on their list. And what happens as soon as they win?
Yes,
They're
we
like,
knew it all along.
A dynasty is forming right in front of us. These are the
Whatever.
best. But that is that. So okay, there's a lot brewing. So
start.
let me get to that.
Okay.
There is a website called Finance Technologies, and that's with a PH. Finance Technologies. They have a project called the Humanity Projects. Really, really cool. Check out their website. They just put out, literally, this just came out. They put a entire breakdown, full like scientific recap breakdown of what has happened since the inoculations that have occurred, and it is extraordinarily
talking about the jab.
Yes, extraordinarily interesting. I'm gonna read this to you. I'm not even gonna discuss it.
Okay,
I
well,
literally
just put make sure you say
Gotcha.
it the right way.
So this is literally verbatim of their conclusions and it's very detailed, but I just want to read this portion to you. We summarize the human costs of the inoculations by identifying 3 broad groups of people who suffered varying levels of damage. We estimated the pool of individuals within the population who belong to each of these inoculated damaged groups using the US population as an example. So they've accumulated everything. They brought it together. They've used the U.S. as an example moving forward. We investigated the human cost in relatively young and healthy age groups, as these are the most representative for the productive population or workforce. For absences, we estimated the injured pool of individuals by using the full-time workers aged 25 to 54. So this is obviously a very, should be your optimal health level as an adult. While for disabilities, we use the employed workers aged 16 to 64, and for excessive deaths, we use the population aged 25 to 64. Here are the results. Group 4, the most extreme damage, which would be death. Excess deaths are estimated to have occurred at an absolute rate of about 0.1 of the population. That's crazy. I'm going to talk about that.
So what does that number come out to? Let's just do a calculator.
Yeah.
So you're saying like 8 billion times 0.1?
Yes. Excess deaths are estimated to have occurred at an absolute rate of about 0.1% of the population aged 25 to 64 for 2021 and 2022. This represents about a 23% excess mortality rate for 2021 and 2022 relative to the expected baseline. In absolute numbers, this represents 310,000 excessive deaths.
So 310,000 people died from the jab.
That's insane.
And what does the Nuremberg Code say?
Huh?
Do you know what the Nuremberg Code says?
No.
If one person dies, then they have to stop the experiment?
Yeah. It's I talked about this on our the previous podcast. That's all I'm gonna read. There's more to read. You can see it. There's more conclusions, but that's wild.
300, how many again?
310,000
people.
310,000 people. That, by the way, that's where.
That's reported.
That's here. That's in the U.S.
Not overall. So it's not So it's a bigger percentage than.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. That's crazy to think about. So anyways, that happened. On a side note, by the way, on this, just a quick little side note. The headline is there, but you don't see it. This came out about a week ago. Pfizer.
Wow.
Yeah. Pfizer.
Wow.
I'll literally just read.
Way.
Yeah. I will literally just read you the headline.
Oh
Pfizer
God.
caught funneling $12 million to Anderson Cooper to promote the mRNA jabs to Americans.
Wow.
Go research. Just look. Go research. Go research.
Wow.
Just
One
look
more
at
time.
these things.
One more time.
Pfizer caught funneling $12 million to Anderson Cooper to promote the mRNA jabs to Americans.
I mean, look.
Never. Go ahead.
You know, it's Nike has Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's an influencer for Nike shoes.
Yeah.
And Pfizer's got, you know, people like Anderson Cooper. You know, actually someone sent me a video of all these celebrities. It was like a back-to-back video, and it was government officials, celebrities, and they were all promoting it. And it said, do you think these people have death on their hands because of what they did? And it was like basically like, you know, like influencer pushing a product that can kill people, that does kill people.
Yeah. And they would go after them.
Of course
right?
they would.
But because it was, what would they call it? The Emergency Act, by the way, that any of these pharmaceutical companies have absolutely zero liability. Here's the crazy part. Corporations, big ones, and smaller ones to a level, right? Like companies that were 100 people. They, including the federal government, they are responsible. So who ends up paying? Like imagine, I want empathy to come out here, right? Imagine you were you were the head of a company and you didn't have clarity or whatever it was your belief, whatever you want to call it, and you mandated that your 150 employees had to be inoculated.
Yeah, there was a rule that was 100 or more, you had to have that. And I know one guy said, you know what? I'm going to make two companies. He had 180 employees, and he just made two companies. He put 90 in one.
90 and 90. Yeah. But imagine, right? Like imagine that happens now, and that every source told you that this is what to do, and now you go and get sued.
Yeah, that's why they said, if someone at your job forces you to get the jab, you tell them, no problem. Can you draw up a paperwork that says that you'll accept responsibility for anything that happens to me, and have it signed and notarized, and then I'll get it. Right. And they said that when you say that to people, the companies will back off. Yeah. Because if anything goes wrong, you have to take responsibility for it.
And it's but it's such a crazy system.
Well, know it's not. It's what the reason why the reason why some folks, a small percentage, didn't get it is because that kind of stuff. Yeah. Because they said that doesn't make sense. Yeah. That doesn't make sense. I'm not playing ball with that.
Just to remember,
so many people woke up from this. Yes. I'm talking 100%. To people. I had a conversation with someone yesterday
100%.
Who wasn't pro jab, but he was not against it. He was not against it. And he told me, man, all this information is coming out that I shouldn't have did it. He's like, deep down inside, I knew I shouldn't have got it.
Trust your intuition, please. Third chakra. I think we got to do a podcast on the third. Just that one.
Fifth chakra, it's wisdom that tells you not to do it.
No, I'm saying in terms of courage. Yeah. Become courageous. Listen to your intuition.
But there's a 3-5 band anyway.
Yeah. Courageously stand for yourself. Yeah. What do we read in the 7 steps of attainment? Begin to start to go in yourself. And as you do, that is a muscle, right? Like, listen, that's a muscle. It will grow. Your gut, your intuition grows. As you trust it, it will show more. It'll speak louder to you, become clear. Then there is no noise. The noise just goes away. Yeah. Like the universe is inside of you, right? That's what he said on step 6, I think. I don't know. I'm probably merging, but
one of the steps along the way.
Yeah. So just wanted to mention those two. I'm going to skip one because I don't want this section to go too long, but I do want to touch on 2 kind of interesting things that have happened in the past 2 weeks. Did you hear about this report in Las Vegas where this whole neighborhood, for those of you who know, this whole neighborhood hears this craft kind of go down.
Oh, man, this is a whole other topic, dude.
Yeah. So they go down, this craft goes down, and then apparently one family calls the cops to come, and they're like, they hear noises. They even on the 911 call, they're like, oh, there was this 8 to 10 foot creature. There's two creatures. We kind of hear them talking. They look very scared, like they're this and that. So that comes out, and then it's like a family of 4 or 5 people, I think. And the kids are, did you see it? I think the kids are like, call it between 15 and 21, 22. One of them puts out this video follow-up on it and like is like, trust me, this is what happened. We're real. Like, this is not like faked. And he puts up like a clip of something that's supposed to show them. And I literally watched this like 15 times to see if there's anything there. Nothing there. Pin that for a second. Ryan Graves, who is a former military person and was in intelligence, came out and says that the U.S. Congress has been acting out of ill fate because they know that we literally have not only materials, but we have an entire extraterrestrial vehicle, meaning it does not belong to anything on Earth, and that they're not revealing this. And so all of these things are going on. Why am I bringing this up? Why am I bringing up these two things that are going on? One, it's very interesting that the news all of a sudden picks up on this, right? Because there's all of these people who have claimed this over years, over this, over that. And all of a sudden, these two stories start popping up actually on mainstream media. Here's why I'm bringing it up for you. This stuff has been happening, and always be aware. The next, probably the next big, what magicians do, right? They go, hey, look over here while they're taking your something over there.
Sleight of hand.
Be aware, because as the volume of this begins to increase, there's likely not something happening here, but something's happening here, right? So just be aware. It is very weird that one family in Las Vegas, out of the blue, has this, which, by the way, if I saw an extraterrestrial, probably the first thing I'd do is be like, hey, let's have an interview. Let's come on our. But like, legitimately, everybody has a phone now. Like, how is it that you would not immediately videotape this thing? Like, what step in the world? And then you come back and you're like, hey, trust me, everything is good. And simultaneously, all of the mainstream media shows this. And this guy, Ryan Graves, all of a sudden, he's now believed, and he has an interview on 60 Minutes. I'm saying this for the opposite reason of usually what we do on What's Brewing. Be aware. Right. When all of a sudden mainstream media picks up on something is up. There's an agenda.
Right. So let's look at like a product, okay? Let's just take a step back from this, put a pin in that, or let's just put that aside in sidebar. You make a new product, okay? Let's just say you make a new car, okay? It's called the Amir 3000, all right? And you're Amir Corporation, and you have the Amir 3000 vehicle that just came out. Now you want to spread that, you want to sell it. What do you do? What do you do when you want to sell that car?
Advertise, market.
Yep. Exactly. So where do you go? To all the marketing publications, advertisers, outlets that you have, and place ads so that you can fulfill your agenda of selling the Amir 3000.
Exactly.
So where do they go? They go to Channel 7, Channel 4, Channel 3, Fox News, CNN, whatever, 60 Minutes, social media.
Wall Street Journal, New York Times.
And let's push this new program we have. Now, it could be fear. It could be a 12-step program, not in a like sobriety. I'm just giving a 10-step program, whatever. That gets you to be scared. And at the end of the day, countries are going to have to come together to fight the aliens. And we're going to do this new WRLD order, and the only way we can survive is if we all get together and on a new gov where we're all one, right, and unified, and now they can, whatever it may be. But there's an agenda to sell Amir 3000. So just know that.
Yes.
That they're selling something at the end of the day, and usually it's fear.
Yes.
And that's what history has shown. And if you don't know, go in time and look at what they've done over the past, and you'll know the future. Yeah. It's the same marketing plan they've done for other things. It's the same marketing plan a company does when they release a new product.
That's right.
They go to the same places, the same blogs, the same advertisers, the same, whatever it may be. Maybe change a little bit here, a little bit there, or do a new picture, hire a new photographer, change the movie, whatever it may be. But they put it in the movies, they put it in the news.
The plot line's the
Yeah,
same.
yeah,
The
exactly.
plot's the same. It's just different characters.
And one more news piece that's important.
Real quick, before you go there, the other part, there's the reason that I want you to be aware of this narrative starting to come up. But the other thing that I think is hopefully really fills up your spiritual cup as well this week and moving forward. If you are believing this, reflect upon yourself just for one moment without judgment and say, isn't it interesting that there's been people who have been harassed, who have been absolutely dragged through mud, who've been even killed, who've been, a lot of things have happened, ridiculed, right? Which is such an awful thing to do. Being called crazy is one of the most damaging things that you can do. All of these people have been pounding the table on their own aspect and saying this, and they've been humiliated on so many levels. And now, if you are believing this because the news is saying it, go inside yourself and say, I really do mean this on a deep reflective level, and ask yourself, why would I believe them and not this person who sacrificed everything they could in their life, their name, their reputation, their livelihood, their family, everything, to be ostracized, and you don't believe them. But now that the mainstream media is coming out with this, that, oh, maybe it's plausible. Ask yourself that question.
I think one of the biggest things that the mainstream media has done well is shown their true colors over the past few years, that they are not to be trusted.
Right.
And I think that is one of the biggest and brightest effects of this past few years.
You're talking my language now. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. It's
We're
exciting.
going to have the positivity bell for Amir to
like
ring,
it.
but it'll ring it the whole episode. So,
But,
all right. And the last one, do we want to cover Bittrex or no?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
We'll leave
They've had too much news today.
Okay. So now let's head to the final frontier.
Yes.
Spill the beans.
Spill the beans.
Spill the beans. Let's talk about the last task. That we
I'm
had.
so excited
Let's
about the
do it.
last task.
Let's do it. Amir,
The
talk
last
about it.
task, and I'm immediately going to ask you, but just a reminder, the last task was that any chance that you get, if you see yourself in a reflection or a mirror, to literally put a smile on your face and see how that changes your vibration. How does that change your mood? How does that go? How was it? How was it for you?
So for me, it was good. I didn't do it the whole time. I didn't do it every time. I did it about 4 or 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
I remember doing it in my bathroom a few times, and once at this cafe I went to. And I should have just kept it going, but I didn't. But it was nice because it was like a check-in with myself. Like we did this thing a few episodes back, if you guys remember, where I set an alarm, and at that time it was like, where's my vibration at the time that alarm goes off? And it was the same kind of thing where I would look at myself and assess myself in the mirror, and I'm like, how am I feeling right now? I need to smile. Like, let me put myself together and realize that I'm not vibrating at this happy place that I should be at. And let me smile and get there.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was kind of a trick, and it was like, it worked. I like looked at myself, I smiled, I saw the smile back. It was nice. And I went out and I, went on my day in a better mood.
I love it.
So thank you for that.
I love hearing that. I loved this practice, by the way. Like, this is something I kind of generally do, but now that this was our practice last week, I'm like absorbing this into my day-to-day life from now on, because it got so powerful that at times that I wasn't even in reflection, I would just think, like, this would just pop in my head, and I would just start smiling. And
Nice.
it became like that, that reaction, that laugh. I would have that reaction, and it's so fun. It's so fun. So I just want to quickly tie it, that laughter, that kind of joy, puts you in the energy of play, which is step 1 of the 7 steps of attainment. Go into play. Life is so fun. Just stop taking it as seriously. I know we just came from very serious things, but always remember, it's a mixture of being very, very serious and yet be playful. Because why? It's in a state of paradox, right? You have to hold the seriousness. You have to have the discernment, and yet go, haha, like whatever, who cares? I don't care. Like it is what it is. So I hope you guys did it. Let us know. Put it in
Yeah,
the
put in the comments.
comments.
Did you guys
Yeah.
smile in the mirror?
Yeah.
Did you? How many times did you do it? Did you keep it up all week? And also, like, comment, and share, and subscribe
Yes.
while we're here.
Yes. That'll make us smile even more.
Yes, yes. All right.
All right.
So heading to the task for today,
Yes.
or this week, let's go back to our core topic, the 7 steps to attainment. Now, what I'd like to do is I want us to take an assessment of ourselves and where we're at in those 7 steps. And this will give you an opportunity if you really are dedicated to growth and you are dedicated to attainment and you're dedicated to self-development, etc. You will go back and rewind to the filling your cup main topic, listen to them again carefully, right? You may have already been doing it while you were listening.
That's
oh,
right.
yes, I'm kind of there. I'm a little bit here. You may be in 2 spaces, wherever you may be. Take a look at it. And then furthermore, I want you to look at it when you are experiencing a challenge, okay? Take a look at the challenge that you're experiencing and see how that issue, where that issue is, right? Because you'll kind of be like, oh, that's an issue that's like a step 2 issue. Like I can move past that issue. That issue doesn't go along the... When I head to step 3 or 4, that issue is it's moot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it makes that issue small.
I like that. Yeah.
You know?
That's
So if you start looking at it from those places, it kind of changes the way you look. What does Wayne Dyer say? How many times did I say Wayne? What does Wayne Dyer say? When you change the way you look at things, the way things look change. Is that what he says or no? Did I just butcher it?
I've actually watched
Some of those Wayne Dyer
2
guys.
minutes of Wayne Dyer total cumulatively in my life.
So for those who watch Wayne Dyer, you can put it in the comments. I think it says, when you change the way that you look at things, the way things look change.
Yeah, that's
It's
exactly
very
right.
good, right?
100%
Thanks, Wayne.
simple.
Wayne. Right. So look at it. Look at where you're at in the 7 steps. Also look at the issues that arise for you and see where they reside there, because it will allow you to see it differently and not take it so seriously and go back to that place of play that Amir resides in all the time.
Yeah. Maybe a little suggestion on this one, actually. Maybe write the 7 steps for yourself on a piece of paper this week. Just fold it, kind of have it.
Keep it in your pocket.
Keep it in your pocket or write it on your phone and just check in. Because then it's available in one sentence. Yeah. You have kind of the 7 of them. And
you know who would do this? I feel like Reza would do this. Reza, if you're out there, I believe that you would do it and you would do it well.
Shout out, Reza. We love you.
We love you, buddy. You're the best.
He is the energy of love, by the way.
He's great.
Yeah. So that's awesome. I like that practice. That's all
right.
Those are our beans. They're all spilled now.
The beans are spilled.
But your cups are full. Our cups are empty.
Thank you. Yes, this thing, I had this hot thing that kept it hot the whole time. What a game changer. I actually drank hot tea.
The whole time.
The whole time. It was wonderful. And I just needed to be bigger.
I am so hot tonight. Like you guys
like,
have probably been watching. I have like a glow on me right now.
He's like Hansel from Zoolander. He's so hot right now.
Yeah. See, I'm terrible with movies. I don't even know who Hansel is. I haven't watched Zoolander.
It's a 90s
I know Ben Stiller was in it.
Modeling movie where it's a total satire of modeling.
Yeah.
So
beautiful.
Thank you for being here with us. We really appreciate you because you give us a reason to do this. And we love doing it. As you can see, we're very happy. Truly are grateful for you, grateful for the time. Please like and subscribe. Please share it. Thank you so much.
Much love. We appreciate the support. We appreciate you subscribing. We appreciate you liking it. And we will be coming at you with many more podcasts and some potentially new news in the next few podcasts. So that'll be a little cliffhanger for you until we are ready to announce.
And let's finish with this few words here. May all beings be well. May all beings reside in peace. May all beings find inner love and inner peace and receive the love and light of the Creator. And may all avoid the causes of suffering. Tat Sat. So it is. Thank you, guys. This is the Conscious Cup. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.